All right, good afternoon. I am Bill Ham. This is Real Estate Raw. Welcome to our weekly session, Wednesday as always, 2 p.m. This week we're going to be discussing asset management for multifamily. So this is kind of a hot topic these days in the what's up with multifamily sort of general conversation that's going on these days. For those of you who are not familiar, I've been in the business about 20 years. I've done a large portfolio of multifamily, been out here doing this for a long time. As always, we're going to have Monica Wyndham joining us in the background. Monica is also an expert in multifamily, been out here as an asset manager, property manager for many years. So as you're coming into the group, say hi. Tell me where you're coming from. Post over here. Tell me what city you're coming in from, and let's keep this networking. So today's topic, we're going to be discussing asset management for multifamily. The basics in getting us started. What's the difference between asset management, property management? What should we be doing? What kind of reports should we be getting? We're going to be discussing all of this today. So first off, asset management is certainly different than property management. All right, let's go right there to the beginning. What's the difference? Property manager is the person and or group that's going to be managing the operations of that property day in and day out, right? They're the ones collecting the rent, paying the bills, probably paying the mortgage, things of this nature, doing repairs. That is property management, right? Asset management is going to be the person on the ownership team managing the manager, right? So that's the basics there. You have property management, and then above that you have asset management. Asset management is basically managing the manager. That's what we want to kind of consider it, right? So out of the gate, the asset manager is the one who winds up picking the property manager. Now, how to choose a property management company is something that I've covered, and we'll cover that again on a different call. But that is the main task of the asset manager, is choosing and managing the property management. All right. So out of the gate, let's talk about reporting. That's one of the first things we want to start talking about here in the property management / asset management conversation. Reporting, one of the biggest things that I see people go wrong with, right? You want to manage the manager as the asset manager, but not over manage the asset manager. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I see. So let's talk about reporting. Let's talk about what you should be doing on a regular basis. What's the right amount of management? What's not the right amount of management? What's too much? Okay, so what I recommend for multifamily asset management is that you are doing three things. Number one phone call or meeting, Zoom, whatever the case, with your on-site asset management team once a week. Okay. Secondly, you want to be getting monthly reporting, and then third, quarterly reporting. So there's your three: weekly, monthly, quarterly. All right. So let's go back and talk about weekly again. Actually, sidebar, there is a document in the document section of this group. So everybody here, you can go back and look in the actual forum here in the document section. I have an asset management document up there you guys can download for free. That's where it's at. But anyway, so weekly, right out of the gate, you want to have a form that you have your property management company fill out every week. That's the document I have for you. It's a KPI tracker. So you want to be looking at the basics: occupancy, leasing trends, repair work orders, things like that. How much money was collected? How much money is outstanding? These sorts of things. And on that KPI tracker, that sheet, you're going to have the property management company or property manager just fill out one row each week. All right. They send it to you at the beginning of the week. That's the basis for your weekly powwow there, right? I would recommend maybe Tuesday morning, right? Everybody, we call this a Monday morning report. By the way, I have found from experience, Monday morning is not a great time to be having a management check-in call with your management company, because Monday morning, 9 a.m. is right when everybody is coming off the weekend. The tenants are coming in the office. They want to talk to the property manager about all the stuff that went on over the weekend, catch the rent, blah, blah. How do I know? Well, because I've also owned a management company, and I've managed those assets myself. And that's what happens. And so now the partner comes along and says, oh, stop all that. Come talk to me. No, you want that manager in that office collecting the rent and doing their job. You talk to the property manager when nothing's going on. You are not that important. The customer is the most important thing. Collect the rent. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe like a Tuesday morning or even Wednesday morning meeting. Some people do it at the end of the week, like on Friday. I like to do it a little earlier in the week, a little more proactive. But either way, as long as you're doing it once a week. So you're going to have that report. You're going to give it to them. They're going to fill it out. You get on the phone call every Tuesday morning. You go over the report. You hit the metrics. And you address any outliers like, hey, you're not collecting the rent. Hey, delinquencies are falling behind. Maybe traffic. Traffic's not coming in. We notice you're not showing the units as much anymore. What's going on? Do we need to talk about marketing? What's our marketing doing? All of these things are the stuff that you keep track of every single week. And if you will do this, it's not that big of a deal. And if you'll do this on a weekly basis, your problems tend not to get out of control. What I find in the asset management world is that people sort of ignore the management company, let the management company do whatever it is they want to do, and they don't come around and they don't show back up until there's a problem. And now they're kind of going in there as a firefighter trying to put out fires, right? Well, that's where I come in. So by the way, sales pitch here, if anybody is having any asset management issues in multifamily, certainly reach out to me. I've started a new company, Multifamily Risk Management. So I am offering my services for asset management and asset management consulting. So if you've got yourself into a situation, you need some advice, call me. But that's what I see most people doing is they ignore the property and then they come back in after there's an issue. So if you'll watch it on a weekly basis, you can get ahead of stuff. All right, monthly reporting. Let's talk about that. Monthly reporting is a profit and loss. That's what, or T12. That's what you should be getting, right? So you're trailing 12, and the profit and loss in that month-to-month format. Each month, the property manager is adding an extra month, and that's the income and the expenses and the NOI and everything they're doing. Your property management company is going to need a few days after the end of your reporting period. Not to get too complicated, but let's just say that you stop reporting on the last day of whatever the month is, right? Some people will do it a little earlier, like on the 21st or something like that. But let's just say your normal reporting period is the last day of the month. They're probably going to take another 4 or 5 days to get all the data entered in, the books caught up, and all that. So you should be looking for that report within the first week or so of the new month. If they're going out much further than that, you want to get on that management company and ask them why they're not giving you data quickly enough. So that's monthly. All right, now on one of those Monday morning or Tuesday morning calls, you can certainly go over the P&L, right? But that's what you're getting on that monthly basis, and you want to start tracking that every month and watching. Now, what is it that we're actually tracking on this monthly basis? Your variance. Now you need a variance report. Okay, so what I'm saying is you need to hand your property management company a budget. I'll talk about that in a second, but we're going to hand our property management company a budget, and then they are going to put that into their system. And each month, they're going to produce the profit and loss and a variance report. And the variance report is just going to go line by line and say, income, expense, this, that, and the other. Were we over, under, or on budget? Okay. And so you're going to take this budget, you're going to take your variance report, and you're going to be looking at that every month going, okay, are we on, off? Do we need to correct the budget? Do we need to create a new budget? What's going on? How do you create a budget? Simple. Take the seller's trailing 12, take your underwriting. However, you've underwritten this deal. You had to sit down at some point in time and create some form of pro forma that said, I'm pretty sure I'm going to collect this amount of rent, these amount of expenses. You had to have done that at some point in time to buy this property. At least I hope you did that at some point in time to buy this property. There is your budget, right? It's the underwriting for your deal. So you take what you created as the budget pro forma, right, to buy the property, give that to the management company and say, okay, the property needs to basically do this because I told my investors I would give them this return. So I need you to do this to give them that return, right? And there's your budget. Now you want to sit down and talk to the management company and get buy-in. You want to show the budget to them and then have them sort of approve it and say, yes, I think we can do that. If you just give them a budget and they don't take any responsibility for it, it's easier for them to kind of say, oh, that's not our fault. So, but if they sit down, they look at the budget, they help create the budget with you and they agree to the budget, well, then they kind of need to perform to that, don't they? So that's how you create the budget. Start with that T12, give that to the management company. Every month, you're looking at variance report. What's up, and then you're tracking your weekly KPIs. That's asset management. If you're doing that, you're doing pretty good. Okay, lastly there, you're going to have that quarterly reporting, and that's when you're going to now start reaching out to your investors, all right? So quarterly reporting is going to be basically that T12, right? It's just going to be more of a report. You're looking at it. Okay. Now let's back all the way up and talk about reporting to the Investors. Okay, so you probably have LPs, maybe you have other partners in the deal. Who is the ringleader and who's communicating with who? I recommend that in the asset management world, you pretty much pick one person that's going to be this asset manager. Have them go out and talk to the person, the seller, the whomever, or the property manager, right? And don't have 5, 6 different partners all in there trying to talk to the property manager collectively. That's going to be a mistake, I'm telling you. So one asset manager, one person of the partnership group, they're talking to the manager. Okay, so now you're taking these reports, and every month or quarterly, I would go probably more like quarterly, you're sending that report out to your limited partners and your other partners. And that's quarterly reporting. You can do it monthly. Some people do it monthly. I would recommend that you don't. You probably send your reports out quarterly. Monthly becomes a little too much conversational, too much communication with your LPs. They kind of start bugging you a little too much. So I would say quarterly reporting. Send them the quarterly T12 that you got from your property management company, and now write up a little abstract, just a paragraph or two. Hey, this is what occurred over the quarter. We did good, we did bad, we're going to do better here, there, whatever the case. Write that up, put that with the profit and loss, and along with any cash distributions. Put it together, send it out, right? That's what I recommend you do there. So that's asset management. The only other thing you really have to kind of get into with asset management is budgeting for CapEx, and that's going to be a big one going forward. But CapEx is a deep, long conversation, and we'll have to get into that on another call. But asset management is all of these things, right? It's managing the manager, it's managing the budget, it's managing the performance of the property management, it's managing the expectations of your investors, right? So if they have too much expectation about what that deal is going to do, get yourself in trouble, right? So managing all of that is key. As again, Monica does this on a regular basis. I do this on a regular basis. And the one thing that we always tell everybody is stay consistent, stay tight on that reporting. Don't let things get away from you. Monday reports, KPIs, use your trackers, follow that data, and you'll be good, right? It's when things come in late, it's a big problem. Cleanup is so much more difficult than prevention, right? So that's the idea with property management or asset management, I should say, in multifamily. If anybody has any questions, like to ask anything over there, throw that in the chat. Again, we have the template, the asset management template. It's up in the template or the document section in our group here, so you can go grab that. That was also created by Monica, and I do appreciate her and her sister for putting together some amazing templates and things that we all use in our business. So that's what I have for you this week, Asset Management 101. If anyone here needs any help, reach out to Monica and I. We are more than willing to take a look at your situation, see what we can do for you. We both come with a lot of experience, and we'd love to help you out on your journey. Again, anyone has any other questions, if you're watching this in the future, please throw your questions in here. I would love to come back and ask them. If anybody has any topics they would like to hear about or like to have me discuss in the future, post that in there as well, and we'll do a video on that going forward. So back to our normal Wednesday, 2 p.m. I was out last week, so apologize. I will be back every Wednesday, 2 p.m. going forward, at least I hope to be. I was traveling last week, so I appreciate everybody stopped by. I apologize for that. And we'll see you next week, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here in the channel. And again, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, throw them over there in the box. Love to hear it. Take care.